News alert on a massive human trafficking bust. It happened yesterday across nearly 24 states. The operation focusing on illegal massage parlors. Christy Wells is the CEO of the Safe House Project, and Dan Nash is the founder of the Human Trafficking Training Center. Thank you both for being here. This is a map where this all took place. It showed up to everybody on the board here from California to Georgia, New Jersey, Arkansas, across the board. And I'm sure that if the resources were in place, you could have done it in all 50. Dan, tell us about the operation. What were you trying to find and prevent?
So we were trying to find human trafficking victims and help human trafficking victims and arrest traffickers. And we did this in 19 states, had over 150 police agencies, and it was super successful. I mean, just in one night, and these numbers will probably double as we continue to gather our stats throughout this morning, but we found 69 adult trafficking victims and one juvenile really just in one night, and seized a large amount of U.S. currency and made over 30 arrests just in one evening.
Christy, the indicators of human trafficking, I'm going to put them up on the board here for people to see. You and I were talking in a commercial break, and it was helpful for me to understand that sometimes we might in our minds think we know what the signs are, but what would you say from your experience is what people should look for?
Right, so you're oftentimes looking for somebody who is fearful, or who is anxious, or who is unable to speak freely, or somebody who has a power dynamic and somebody definitely controlling them, preventing their movement, or preventing them from being able to speak on their own behalf.
Okay, and here you have bruises in various stages of healing, and I think that the fearful timidness, of course, we see that in some of the ads. Dan, human trafficking is not just happening from people who are here illegally or brought across the border illegally. What do people need to know about that?
That's 100% right, Dana. Most trafficking victims are actually just U.S. citizens. 2/3 to 3/4 are just U.S. citizens. Now, securing our southern border, is that going to help with human trafficking? Of course it is. That's kind of obvious. But most of them are actually just U.S. citizens.
Christy, tell me about this. You say that there's a critical window of when you recover people and making sure that they get the services they need, or there's an 80% chance that they will be victims again.
Absolutely. So those first 72 hours are really critical. They've escaped, they are vulnerable, they don't know where they're going to go. And when they are offered resources and safe housing, holistic care, and they really know that if they are exiting this trafficking situation, that they're going to have safety, then their chances of really exiting and having success are tremendous. But if they don't have that proper care, and if they aren't offered services, their chance of re-victimization is 80%. So it's really critical that we make sure that during these operations that the proper support services are offered.
Dan, your thoughts on where this goes from here? Could you have done this in all 50 states with the resources?
That's the goal. That's the goal, is to try to continue to move this and train law enforcement properly so that they have the skills to be able to do this. But this is a really big industry. It's the second largest industry in the world. And just to give you an idea, one of our agencies seized $600,000 last night out of one illicit massage business. Just one.
That's pretty stunning. Christy, the Safe House Project, I'm going to put this on the board here. You offer emergency housing and services, long-term safe house programming, and a transitional program. How can people help? What do you need?
Right, so we always need donations, but really what we want community members to do more than anything else is be part of eradicating trafficking. We can't solve a problem that we can't see. And so we have a new tool called Simply Report that anybody can download on the Google Play Store or on the App Store that allows people to report their suspicions of trafficking. You don't have to be a trained observer. You just have to be concerned. You can download, report your suspicions. And if it is a trafficking situation, there's a behavioral matrix that ranks the likelihood of it being trafficking. If it is, it reports it immediately to law enforcement. And so that is the thing that every community member can do to be a part of eradicating trafficking.
And what's that called again?
Simply Report.
Simply Report. All right. Christy, Dan, thank you so much, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
Important story.
Thank you.
So there's new